New polls show the Texas Senate race between Republican Ken Paxton and Democrat James Talarico remains very tight with 4 months until the November midterm election. When you look at the 4 most recent independent polls between June 1st and 21st, they show Paxton ahead of Talarico by a hair-splitting 1.3 percentage points. Paxton is at 45.8%, Talarico at 44.5%. Ad Impact Politics says the projected spending in Texas this year overall will amount to $850 million. That's nearly $290 million higher than the original estimate last fall. And when you look at the Senate race alone, Ad Impact Politics predicts $446 million, close to $500 million, will be spent on that Senate race when it's all said and done. Talarico started airing a new ad in many media markets in Texas last week, including the DFW market. It's called Drowning, and it focuses on lowering costs. Paxton released his own ad called Hypocrite, which focuses on Talarico's record. It aired in the Corpus Christi market, where Texas Democrats held their party convention, which wrapped up yesterday. President Trump has said he will campaign in Texas for Paxton. As we've reported, Paxton reportedly said recently during a tele-town hall that Republicans will hold a special midterm convention at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. A source tells me the first 2 weeks of the facility are being reserved by the RNC, but it has not been booked officially just yet. We went one-on-one with Republican and former Texas Railroad Commissioner Michael Williams about this race, and he told me the president should come to Texas often to campaign for Paxton.
Not only should the president come to Texas and campaign, I think he needs to pitch a tent in Texas. He needs to change his voter registration from Florida and move somewhere in Texas. He needs to be here on the regular campaigning for Attorney General Paxton. He put his thumb on the scale, he broke it, he owns it. And so therefore, in order to make sure that we not only win Texas, that we do not lose the U.S. Senate, that we do not change the narrative about Texas and Texas Republican victories, he needs to be here. Now, as it relates to that convention, that's a great thing, because conventions energize your voters and energize your volunteers. It gives you an opportunity to get, free TV time, for your candidates. So that would be a great idea. But even if you do that, I'm serious when I say this. The president needs to be here on the regular. He needs to be here so often that we actually do believe he's moved to Texas.
But when should he start doing that, do you think?
Yesterday.
Oh, so you think the president's...
This race has already started. I mean, Representative Talarico, just spent $1 million on a new TV, on his first TV ad. So this campaign has already started in earnest. And so there's not a lot of time to waste. 4 months is not a long time.
You've told me before that you believe Texas is ground zero. Why do you say that?
Because the narrative has always been that we're red, that we're redder than red. Democrats don't have a chance in Texas. The last thing we want to do is to give Democrats one inkling of an idea that they can win a statewide race in Texas. And so that's why, and if you lose Texas, it's my sense that you'll lose one or more of those other 5 U.S. Senate seats that are up for election right now.
How do you see Texas then playing out?
You've heard me say on your show so many times that a Democrat hasn't won a statewide race in Texas in 30 years. But this is a different cycle. And in this particular cycle, it is extremely important for Republicans to mend the sort of division between Senator Cornyn and General Paxton and his voters. And so General Paxton is going to have to work real hard to make sure that those 30 some odd percent of voters who voted for Senator Cornyn, number one, show up and vote. Number two, vote for the U.S. Senate race, as well as those other down ballot races, and vote for Paxton.
Senator Cornyn has said he is going to support the ticket,
Yeah.
but he has not come out and said specifically Ken Paxton. Is there anything more that you think he could do?
Well, there's a lot that he could do. Obviously, he could give a full-throated endorsement of A.G. Paxton, which he is not going to do. And obviously they had a hard-fought primary and runoff election, so that full-throated endorsement's not coming. So at this point, I think it's less about what the senator does and more about what the AG does.